So let me go ahead and give you a little bit of my background. I've not been with Color Street very long. I'm loving it so far. I mean, I fell in love with it from the very first time I used it. I just got addicted. I was a nail tech for 14 years. And the only reason I stopped doing nails, I loved doing nails, by the way. I worked at one of the biggest salons in Greenville, South Carolina, and I was booked 2-3 weeks out in advance. So I had a very big clientele. The only reason that there's two reasons I stopped doing nails. The biggest reason is from inhaling the dust all the time, because I did acrylic nails. From inhaling that dust, the doctor told me that he was beginning to see spots on my lungs, and I kept bronchitis all the time. I kept bronchitis. So my choices were to either start wearing a mask, which I'm very, very claustrophobic, so I couldn't imagine myself with a mask on all day, or stop doing nails. The second reason that I stopped is because I had 3 kids at home, and when you are in a salon setting, your clients usually want to come after work or on the weekends. And I had a lot of clients that had regular appointments, and I had several clients that had Friday night appointments and Saturdays. But they want, your clients want you to be there when they're off work, and most people, a lot of people work, so that made me, I was working nights and weekends. Well, with 3 kids at home, that's kind of hard to be there for your kids. So Michael and I talked about it, and just between the nail dust in my lungs and the kids at home, it was just a better fit for me to be at home with my kids. So that's why I stopped doing nails. So when I found Color Street, it was like my love of nails was still there, so I was able to find something to where I can still help women and girls have beautiful nails, but not be swallowing all that dust. So this is my background and why I'm telling you why I wanted to do this live video tonight. So we've had a lot of, I think a lot of us that do, and I'm very new at Color Street, but I've had quite a spike in my sales because people can no longer go to the salons right now. And they're trying to find a way that they can still have beautiful nails, but they can't, since they can't go to the salon, they're trying to find other options. Well, this got me thinking last night. My friend Tammy, who I think she's still on here, she was on here a minute ago, we were talking 2 nights ago, and after I got off the phone with her, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we're encouraging all these ladies to get Color Street to fix that problem, but do they know the right way to fix the problem? If you have artificial nails on, you're probably, I know in South Carolina, other states shut down before we did, but what are we on now, Michael, with shut down 2-3 weeks? So if you have not been in the salon in 2 or 3 weeks with your nails, you're getting a pretty good growth on there. Now if you have long nails, now I keep mine short, I've just always liked short nails, but if you have long nails, you're going to find that as it's growing out, you've got space back here at your cuticle, your nail is still long, it's going to lift. You're going to have, if you keep your nails long, you're going to have a little bit of a lift back here, because you don't have, each time when you fill your nail in, you're filling in that base back here at your cuticle, but if you're no longer filling that in and you're still continuing to grow and you don't do something about this back here, you're going to cause a little lifting. When I did nails, and this is going to age me, back in the 90s, early 90s to mid 90s into the 2000s is when I did nails. You didn't see the Asian salons very much. Those kind of started popping up in the mid to late 90s. But I was and I forgot to tell you this a minute ago, I was a master nail technician for Creative Nail. The first year that Creative Nail started their master technician class, there was 50 people in that class, and I was one of those 50 people. So I was a master technician with Creative, which just all that means is that I took more classes besides my continuing ed, besides the school that I took to be able to get my nail license. I took extra classes to be able to become a master technician. But I started seeing, and it wasn't just the Asian salons, but lots of salons. If you don't get someone that has the knowledge that they really needed to be able to do your nails correctly, and they're polishing your nails all the time, I fixed so many nails. And I'm not telling you this to scare you. I don't want anybody to get scared. I just want to make sure that you're doing the right thing. So what I have fixed a lot of is people that cover up but didn't get the proper fill in. And if you get moisture trapped underneath that artificial nail up against your nail bed, then that can cause mold. Now just think about mold in your shower or mold in your bathroom. That's what you get moisture trapped, and that's what can happen. So I want to make sure that you're not just covering up back to your cuticle over. We want to make sure that you're going to buff that nail real good before you and smooth out. And I know some of you like the long nails, but at this time it might be a little bit better of an idea if you're trying to grow off the artificial. Now if you want to take everything off completely and just go with your natural nail, then no problem. There would be not a problem with you to have long nails. But if you're trying to grow off artificial nails, my suggestion would be to file them down a little shorter so that you don't have that top heavy on your tip, and file them down a little bit shorter. And I want you to get a buffer. Now you can get a three-way buffer or a four-way buffer. So the ones that come in with Color Street, if you have a Color Street stylist already, or I can get you one. So you're gonna want, can you see that, Michael?
Yeah.
So you're gonna want a buffer. This is a four-way buffer. So in it completely explains it to you on the buffer. So you've got a number one side that you're gonna start with. And when you buff on your natural nail, you're gonna lightly buff your natural. So you're gonna start with number one. If it's a four-way buffer, what it is number one is gonna be a slightly rougher, and then it's gonna go to 2, 3, 4. This is gonna smooth out your nail. So, and even if you have ridges, a good buffer is good for ridges. But you wanna make sure that you're, where you've had that extra nail growth from your artificial nails, you're gonna wanna make sure that you've smoothed that out as much as you possibly can without buffing too much your natural nail. And you should be able to feel what that feels like. You don't want to buff it too much so that you're thinning out that natural nail. But like I suggested, file them down a little bit shorter just until you grow off that artificial nail. Now, if you would like to completely remove your artificial nails, this is what you're going to have to do. The only thing that's going to take off an artificial nail, which would be gel, acrylic, or the dip, is pure acetone. Yes, pure acetone is not very good for your nail because it dries your hands out. But make sure that after you use the acetone that you use a good cuticle oil and a good lotion on your nails. But when you are removing artificial nails, again, you're going to want to buff. So you're going to rough up the top layer of either the gel or the acrylic or the dip, because you've got to rough that up to break that seal that they've put on the top. So rough that up just a little bit with either the number one of the buffer or a emery board file. And then you can, nowadays they didn't have these when I did nails. It would have been great if they had. But on Amazon you can go and purchase the little clips that you put on your nails. So you're just going to put acetone on the cotton ball. You can use a cotton ball and clip those on. It's going to take you about 15 to 20 minutes for that to sit and completely break down the acrylic or the gel or whatever you have on your nails. And then you're going to, again, lightly buff until you get to the shine part. Depending on your nails, some people have strong nails, some people have thin nails, some people have weak nails. Will depend on after you get that off, because they are going to be a little bit weaker because your nail tech has roughed up your nails a little bit in order to get that product to adhere. So you're going to have to buff to smooth that back out. I suggest my favorite nail strengthener, and this is what I used when I was in a salon setting, when I was a nail tech and did nails. I love OPI. That was one of the products that I used regularly. So my favorite is, and what I have been using, because I did have acrylic on my nails, so what I have been using is the OPI Nail Envy. Can you see that? I can't tell where the camera is. I like this product. You can order it off of Amazon. I actually got mine at Sally's before they shut down. But yeah, OPI is my favorite, and it's Nail Envy, my favorite nail strengthener. I have been putting on, now I took my acrylic off completely, but I've been putting on 2 coats of my Nail Envy, and then I've been using 2 coats, and I was so excited. I have a new color on. I love this color. I'm going to make sure that I have this in my personal stock at all times. But with this one set, I was able to get 2 coats on my nails and a coat on my toenails. So I got a pedicure and 2 coats on my nails with one set. I think that's pretty cool. But I suggest that if you're going to go all natural right now, just to have that extra layer, go ahead and do 2 coats of the Color Street on your nails, and that's going to give you a little bit of protection. Some of you may be 3 to 4 weeks now without your nail tech, so they may be about half grown out. But until you get that, the nail that has grown, it has grown completely off, that you had the acrylic or the artificial nail on, it is going to be a little bit weaker because it's going to be a little bit thinner, because your nail tech, like I said, had to rough that up to get that to adhere to your nail bed. But fear not, your nails will be good again very quick. So after I do my 2 coats of my, I buff, file down, buff, 2 coats of Nail Envy, 2 coats of Color Street color. Then I have been using the Rapid Dry. I really like the Rapid Dry. It dries them quick. Now Color Street does have the clear coat that you can put on also. I haven't tried the clear coat on me. I have put it on my mom, and it is beautiful. It's very, very shiny. But I've been using this one so that I can have that extra 2 layers on top of my natural nail, because I'm trying to go completely natural now since I found Color Street. And I used to be that person. If you like natural nails, I was that person. My friend Pat, I don't know if Pat's on here or not, 2 years she tried to tell me about Color Street, and I kept saying, no, I get my nails done. I like natural. I only go French. I don't need Color Street. I don't know why I didn't listen to her, because now I'm addicted and I love every color that's glitter. And so one time will get you completely addicted. Let me tell you this. Make sure that before you start buffing, a good cuticle stick, I like the plastic ones. It has the rubber tip on the end. Can everybody see that? I can't tell where. Mm-hmm. Has the rubber tip on the end. That's good to get the extra polish. If you get polish on your cuticle, you're going to want to make sure that you get that completely off. But always push back your cuticles before you start buffing your nails. And before you apply any polish or any Color Street, make sure you push those cuticles back. That's going to make your manicure last quite a bit longer if you push those cuticles back. Now, if you are going to go with a natural nail, the best thing to use for a natural nail is going to be a glass file. When you file your nails with an emery board, it can sometimes cause cracking and peeling. You don't want that, especially if you're going from an artificial nail into a natural nail. You're going to want something that's not going to make cracking and peeling worse. Can everybody see that? So a glass file is going to seal the keratin of your nails. So this is the best file that you can get. Don't saw your nail. That's not a good way to file your nail. You're going to want to start at one end and come half. Start the other end, come half. Go one way when you're filing your nail. And that will also prevent the cracking and the peeling. As far as polish remover goes, oh no, it leaked in the bag. So make sure your lid is on so that yours doesn't do like mine did and leak. But I love the Mineral Fusion polish remover. And you can get this on Amazon. So glad I put that in a bag. But yeah, if you're gonna soak off your acrylic, then polish remover, even polish remover with acetone in it, is not going to take off an artificial nail. You're going to need 100% pure acetone. If you don't have the nail clips, this is the way, like I said, back when I did nails years ago, we didn't have those cute little nail clip things. What I would do is get a small glass bowl, because you don't need a lot. You just need enough that your fingers are going to fit in the bowl. So I would get just a small glass bowl, put acetone in it, pure acetone, enough to just cover my nails, and what I would put a towel over that, because you're going to want to keep the heat in there. If you've got the warmth in there, and it's not going to get hot and it's not going to feel warm, but it also keeps it from evaporating, because acetone evaporates pretty quickly. But while you're sitting in the bowl, pretend this is a bowl, while you're sitting in the bowl, just kind of rub your nails like this, and it kind of breaks down the artificial nail. If you just sit in the bowl, you're going to be sitting quite a while. But if you're rubbing them just a little bit, scratching them with your nails, that's going to break down that particle and cause it to come off a little bit quicker. And you're not going to be sitting in the bowl quite as long. But like I said, if you want to go with the little clips, then those are also good if you to get your polish off when you're ready to change your color streak also. Can you see that? I love these. They're good because I wish that these had been around. When I was a nail tech, I could never have really good looking nails because I was in acetone all the time, I was in polish remover all the time, I was in acrylic all the time, so my nails just were terrible. But look at this. Isn't that awesome? So you could repair a messed up nail without messing up the rest of them. And also these, Amazon, $5 for 60 of them. I love them. They're amazing. But they don't leave all those little strings on you, so you don't have to worry about that. Oh, and make sure when you remove your polish, wash your hands before, but make sure that you use your nail prep, and make sure you get that all the way back to your cuticle. Let me tell you a good cuticle oil to use, and this again is something that I used when I did nails, and you should be able to find bigger of these. But I got these tiny ones for my customers. I don't know if you can see that, but solar oil. Solar oil is a great cuticle oil to put on your cuticles. Especially if you're gonna soak your nails off in acetone, you're gonna want a good cuticle oil to be able to put that moisture back in there. Don't put cuticle oil on before you put your color street on. You're gonna wanna wait at least 30 minutes before you wash your hands, get any kind of oils on them, because you wanna make sure that that polish strip sets completely. But once you start trying to get your nails off, if you have any questions, or if you have any questions ever anyway, just message me. I'll be glad to help you. This is just when I was a nail tech, and my desire was to be able to help people, and that's what I still desire to do. So I'm so glad that I found Color Street, but just to be able to help people, because I know this is a hard time right now. If you're used to getting your nails done, that you don't have your nail tech right now, I don't know if maybe you can't talk to your nail tech right now, then that could be pretty frustrating. And I don't want you to be frustrated, so I want to make sure that everybody knows ways that you can fix the problem. But
Tammy says, how much use of solar oil? How much solar oil should she use? How often? Sorry.
How often? I put my solar oil on every night before I go to bed. I put it, now the one that I have upstairs in my bathroom, that makes sense, a dropper. So I put one drop on each finger, and then I just massage it in, because I have really dry hands. You could probably tell if you can see my hands at all. I can't see what you're seeing. I have really dry hands, so I use it every night, and I put one drop on each nail, and then I massage mine into my cuticles, and then I go underneath my nails too, just because I've got really dry hands. But if you've got the dropper, then you're just going to want one drop. It doesn't take much at all. And then if there's any left over on my hands, just because I'm so dry, I rub the rest of that into my hands. It's not going to hurt you. And then I put lotion on top of that. That's how dry I am. Both the solar oil and lotion will just soak right into me. If you are an oilier person, you might not need quite as much. You could probably put a drop and then spread it around to the rest of your nails, because if you have oily skin, you're not going to need to add that much more oil to your skin. So you can just spread it around, because once you rub it into one finger, you're going to have it on your finger. Just go to the next finger. So that really just depends on how oily you are or how dry you are, which I'm very dry. Well, I'm so glad y'all joined us. If you wouldn't mind, share this video even after we turn off the live, because you just don't know who might need to see it. As far as I know, all salons are closed across the whole United States right now. So this might help somebody else if they're trying to figure out what can they do for their nails. So if you'd share it, please. Like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know. Bye, y'all.